I've created a list of 10 plus cardinal rules. Now, on this podcast, we're only going to go over 5. If you implement just these 5 little rules, your trading could absolutely be in a better place. Rule number 1, the market does whatever it wants. You cannot force your will on the market. You cannot say the market was wrong. The market is always right. The market will do what it does with or without you. The market does whatever it wants. Rule number 2, make a plan, follow the plan. As long as you follow your plan, you'd be surprised at what kind of results you can get. Rule number 3, track everything. Use a trading journal. Now, we provide this to our members. We have a fancy trading journal that you basically copy and paste your trade, log into it, and it gives you a number of stats. You have a spot for notes in there. So tracking everything, though, is huge. Rule number 4, focus on pips, not on money. There's an obvious fact. Every trader, we are here to make money. However, when you focus on the money while you trade, that's how you lose focus on the chart because emotions get in the way. Focusing on pips instead of the money, that's how you gain consistency in the market. And then rule number 5, trading is not about winning. Trading is about not losing. Protecting your capital needs to be your number one concern. There's a word that comes to mind called greed, and we got to be careful because as human beings, greed can sneak in there. So trading is about not losing. So what that looks like, locking into profit when it makes sense in the chart and not waiting. It looks like exiting early if the chart starts to look not great. Don't feel like you have to wait it out or hopefully it'll turn around. None of that. The numbers are the numbers. The chart does what it wants. You do what you have to do.
So what are the secrets? How do some of the most successful entrepreneurs find the freedom that we all got into business for in the first place? How did they find the time, energy, and resources to launch and scale strong? And how do entrepreneurs like us align our time, money, and energy in a way that will allow us to reach what we set out to achieve? These are the key questions, and this community will give you the answers. Welcome to the Prosperity Movement.
Welcome to the Prosperity U podcast. We are here as often as we can be in order to shed some light on things pertaining to the trading industry and what we're doing and how we're helping people earn money and create financial freedom for themselves. And we have a set of mission, visions, and values. Give me 2 seconds to pull that up because I should have had that up by now. So our mission is to impact the world by bringing the life-giving principles of prosperity to it. And our vision is to guide our community to back engineer their full power and potential with purpose-driven growth so they can do more of the things they love with the people they love most. And our values are impact, integrity, intentionality. So for impact, in order to impact the world, we value time, health, relationships, and legacy relentlessly at the highest level. For integrity, we value people over profits, and we're driven and dedicated to the success of our community. And for intentionality, we provide result-oriented support through mentorship to ignite an inspired and focused community. So,
Fail.
that said, what do you mean fail?
Well, I was just thinking to myself how like one of the founders couldn't even say that by heart.
I know some of it by heart. My gifting is with numbers, not with words. But we've got a good one for you guys today. I actually put together a couple slides, getting fancy on these podcasts. Basically, the way I see it, and the way we see it, and we see this all the time. Okay, there's a difference between effective traders and ineffective traders, or profitable traders and not profitable traders. And the difference has very, very, very little to do with strategy or even knowledge. The vast majority of it has more to do with patience, focus, and discipline. And so I've created a list of 10 plus cardinal rules. Now, on this podcast, we're only going to go over 5. Okay, and if you want the whole listing, we'll cover that at the end of how you can get it. All right, but we're going to cover 5 cardinal rules with trading. If you implement just these 5 little rules, your trading could absolutely be in a better place. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Let's get it started. These are my design skills You can see how very complex this is. Actually, this is a slide from something Travis put together. But anyway, cardinal rules of trading. We're only going to go over five on this podcast here today. But rule number one, the market does whatever it wants. Okay. You cannot force your will on the market. You cannot say the market was right or the market was wrong. The market is always right. The market will do what it does with or without you. Okay. The market does whatever it wants. You have to accept that. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to be very frustrated, banging your head against the wall because the market will do what it wants no matter what. Cool. Rule number two, make a plan, follow the plan. Okay. Now I put these two pictures in here for a reason because some people's plans are very simple and some people's plans are like that bottom picture. They're kind of all over the place. It really doesn't matter. Make a plan and you follow the plan. As long as you follow your plan, you'd be surprised at what kind of results you can get. So what we do, and I've actually done this, Brian, because I used to trade NAS pretty exclusively, and then the demand was growing and growing more and more for an evening session. And so after looking at a bunch of different indices, I was looking at like the Aussie 200, and I was looking at a couple of other things. And at the end of the day, USD JPY as a currency pair just seemed to be the best thing for nighttime, for evening. So I had to kind of relearn a little bit because it moves differently than NAS or than the Dow or DAX or any of those other ones we've traded. And so I had to kind of relearn it. And so people got to see me start with a basic plan and I followed the plan. And then I found, oh, you know what? I forgot to specify this one thing in the plan, added it. Then I followed that plan. Another little mini pivot the next week, followed that plan. And it's kind of this evolution that's going to be throughout your entire trading journey. And those little things, by the way, are going to be totally dependent on you, the trader. It doesn't matter who, because for example, I'll give you an example. One of the biggest things that catches me in the markets, that's troublesome for me is a pattern called an expanding wedge pattern. Why? It's because I always think, oh, the market's going to break out. Turns out it's just an expanding wedge and it'll catch me. Okay. So I had to put in a rule in my trading plan on how I can better recognize that particular pattern so I don't fall for it. So that's what I mean. You might not have that as a weakness. You might have something else that's kind of a more of a challenge for you that you have to specify in your plan. But rule number two is very basic. You make a plan and you follow the plan. So
And it's interesting too because I've been reviewing some of your calls as I've been piecing some things together, obviously for our weekly pip count. And there are some really, really like I was just looking at this last one, and there was like a strong play up that obviously if you're full, like I'm like, why didn't he take that? And then I looked at it, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. The MACD was red. What a pain in the butt because it just and you're like, yeah, I know. That's annoying, isn't it? And but like, I mean, the everything like not all of the things were lined up, but yet it looked like such a picture perfect trade. When you just look at the price action and you don't look at the other indicators, it looked picture perfect.
yeah,
Except for I could see right away, oh well, obviously your MACD was red. You couldn't take that.
yeah,
Super simple. That was the one thing that I was able to see right away. And then you took the next round and all the things lined up. And maybe it wasn't as large of a play, but you could see every one of your targets and you honed in on those targets and you got your pips. So it was cool. Cool to see.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just make a plan, follow the plan. I have two plans because because I do two different trading styles with that. But anyway, that's rule number two. You guys with us so
Wait,
far? Is
wait a minute.
anyone?
Two plans. Why do you have two? Is it two based on conditions?
Nope, it's two based on my skill level. So one is what I do on my beginner sessions on Monday and Tuesday nights, and the
Mhm.
other one is for when I trade with James.
Oh,
It's a
got
little, it would
difference
allow me to do DRS entries and
being
yeah,
you're being
you're being extra disciplined in that you're actually playing two different focuses in two different settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool.
So lots of fun. All right, guys. Rule number 3, track everything. Track everything. Use a trading journal. Now, we provide this to our members. We have a fancy schmancy trading journal that you basically copy and paste your trade log into it, and it gives you a number of stats, including like a win rate, your average wins, average losses, how many you won, how many you lost, how many were break even, duration, average duration of those trades. Your note, you have a spot for notes in there. So tracking everything though is huge. Let me give you a really good example, actually. I'm not going to say this gentleman's name, but there was a guy on our call, on our boot camp call last night. We were covering people's journals. We were actually looking and breaking down their numbers and their stats. And this one particular gentleman, so he'll reach out to our coaches here, I would say at least once a week, talking about how much he's struggling with trading. And I got to look at his journal, and his journal was almost as good as mine. It was good numbers. Isn't it interesting how we can just have this perspective? Because why? Maybe you took a 5 pip loss and you're like, oh no, I must be bad at trading. But the numbers are showing that you have like a 60% win rate and you're up almost 300 pips in a month. That's that is not bad, right? So that is the purpose of tracking everything, because our perspectives can be off. The numbers won't. Numbers are just honest. They're just there. Okay. On the flip side, the same thing can happen. We didn't have an example of this in real life right now, but the same thing can happen the other direction, where your perspective is that you're a great trader, but the numbers are reflecting that you have work to do, right? Let the numbers help you with your perspective. Um, yeah, and Guy uses the journal and he takes screenshots. Like he really takes his tracking to the next level, and he's been able to see a huge benefit from that for sure. That's rule number 3. Okay, very basic cardinal rules, guys, but these are so life changing. We still to this day have some members that we know who they are. They don't have a journal. We're like, we have it for you. Just make a copy. Anyway, and rule number 4, focus on pips, not on money. There's an obvious fact. Every trader, we are here to make money. That's obvious, duh. Okay. However, when you focus on the money while you trade, that's how you lose focus on the chart. Okay. Um, because emotions get in the way. That's why everything that we do, we talk about pips. How many pips did you get? How many points did you get? You know, what is the consistency there? If you focus just on the pips instead of the money, money will be a byproduct of it. The idea here is that I should not trade any differently if I'm trading $1 a pip, or if I'm
Master
trading.
one reliable trading strategy that consistently wins,
Oh,
minimizes risk,
right.
and
We
creates
can
a
hear that. That is very fast.
That's how I soak in information really fast. Sorry, that was a complete accident. I was taking a look at the trading pip count for the week because I got to get Donald to get on that and get that
Yeah,
up as I'm sending it to people. So apologies.
it's all good. So, focusing on pips instead of the money. That's if I trade $1 a pip, or if I trade $50 a pip, or if I trade $100 a pip, my trading should not be different. You should trade exactly the same at every level. That's how you gain consistency in the market. Okay, focus on pips, not on the money. And then rule number 5: trading is not about winning. Trading is about not losing. Okay, I say this so many times, all the time, every day. Um, Trading is about not losing. Protecting your capital needs to be your number one concern. Okay. Um, and it's interesting too how much I've seen this on my trading sessions. So I love doing my sessions and being able to connect with our community, and what I see often. I remember there was this one play I did. It was a nice play. It was like 80 points, 83 points or something like that. It was a beautiful sell that we did. And when I finished with the 80 points, I was like, man, that was great. I'm going to switch my account to demo because I got my points for the day. I hit my goal. We still have 45 minutes left of the session here, but I'm going to just go ahead and switch to demo because preserving your capital is number one goal. And people were typing in the chat. Some of them got the 80 with me. Some of them got a little less. Some of them got, maybe 40 or 50, right? And I was congratulating all of them. That's still fantastic, by the way. Fantastic. We shoot for 10 an hour to give you some perspective. Okay. So these guys that were getting 30, 40, 50, 60, even 80, I told them all my strongest suggestion is that you follow the leader here and you also switch to demo. Okay. You got your points. If you're not switching to demo, you might have some reflections because if to make because if 30, 40, 50, 60 points in a single within an hour, and in this case it was actually within the first 15 minutes, if that's not good enough for you, you have some self-reflection ahead, right? Because there's a word that comes to mind called greed, okay? And we got to be careful because as human beings, the greed can sneak in there. So trading is about not losing. So what that looks like locking into profit when it makes sense in the chart and not waiting. It looks like exiting early if the chart starts to look not great, exit early. Don't feel like you have to wait it out or hopefully it'll turn around. None of that. No, no, no. The numbers are the numbers. The chart does what it wants. You do what you have to do. It's all
And
about
to be
not losing.
fair, if I may, like just kind of like playing a little devil's advocate, like with question and like focus here, like this is we at this point, are we speaking from a point of like beginner intermediate level?
Yeah,
Yeah, because like this and why this is important is because obviously, I mean, like James, little sniper, like I mean, even today he had plays that he said, I'm not doing that. I'm just he followed his rules, right? Like it was dropping off the face of the earth, and like as it was breaking lows, he said you could do that. I'm just not, you know. And then he waited for one specific thing to happen by the end of the call, and like, man, how many pips today? It was like some stupid, like over 200 or some odd pips. Um, but then also, we somebody's saying here. I jokingly
Matt.
kicked some people off my call. They got their pips, told them to go spend time with their family. Who is that? Oh, that was
That's
Matt. That's Matt. Yeah, not keeping. Yeah, got you. Yeah, told them to go spend time with their family, not keep creating the time financially and the time freedom. Yeah. Uh, but basically, like even on we had a coaching call today, and James probably wasn't. We're there to talk about some of the things that happened on that call and to dive deeper into the some of the specific plays that James took that are black belt level plays and really got a new understanding of that. I'm looking forward to unlocking that to the community at some point and diving deeper into the community with certain individuals that are illustrating that they're ready for it, if you will. But even on that call, like he sniped like flipping however many on that. And
Yeah.
but is there some sort of place that you would say that might be able to shift? Like when is it that like the discipline light bulbs have gone off to the point where you don't necessarily have to do what you're saying, which is like to shut it down after a
Yeah.
specific
Well,
number?
I
Because
think what happens as you get better and better is that goal, that benchmark is going to get bigger. So there might come a point in time, like right now, my daily goal is about 50 pips. Okay. But that's on UJ. It's a little bit different than NAS. Um, on NAS, it's 20. Okay. So um, that might shift, right? So later on, as I continue to improve and hone in my skills, I might say, hey, you know what? On UJ, I'm not walking away except with 100 points, you know? And so in that case, after that 80-point move, I might say, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep trading because I'm still good. I'm still feeling good, you know? So that's what'll shift. But I think there should be a number to help you walk away. And I know some people do it differently. Sometimes it's not a matter of amount of pips that you gain. Sometimes it's how many trades you take. So I know something that guy does that he's told me about is he has like his perfect trade, and he wants to take, I don't remember the number, but it's like if I take two of these, I'm done for the day.
Mm,
two of these perfect trades, I'm good.
mm.
You know, or maybe it was three, I don't remember the number, but it doesn't have to be the pip count, but there needs to be a metric to determine when you're good and when you can walk away.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Otherwise, you can get sucked into over trading and all that kind of garbage that comes with that, right? But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's because we do have every once in a while an all day trade session with James, and sorry, Travis is trying to call me.
Yeah, he tried calling me too.
I'm gonna say, hey, Travis, you should be on this podcast. Love you. Bye.
I just texted.
But yeah, like, we do have all day trading sessions, and, I think I've witnessed you at times really become focused and like trade like as that was your focus was I'm doing this full time for this season, so I'm like gonna get disciplined and really hone in on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, most people that are coming in here are also trying to balance those four pillars, like we said, like their time, their health, their relationships, and their legacies. So, like a lot of people that are coming through here have jobs that they're transitioning through, and so I can see why this is so important, so that you're not getting sucked into it, and having it
Yeah.
overtake you and overcome you. And
100%.
the same time, I mean, I think last week we were talking about again, like in a session, like what does it look like? You had said just three, two or three. It's how many trades. Like, what do you consider a strikeout, right? Strikeout is three.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot lose more than three. And all those things should be very, very clear in your rules. And are you done for the day, or do you just need to go recalibrate and then come back? I think it depends on the hunger of the individual because this
Oh,
is a
sure.
skill set. This is a skill set that you like you should be obsessing over, right?
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like getting good at it is something that is repetition, right? But anyways,
So these rules, you guys, just these five alone can totally shift your trading if you're willing to follow them. And the nice thing is, I actually have five, potentially more rules, cardinal rules. But we're going to share those and we're going to discuss those as a community at an exclusive event next week. So this isn't going to be public. It's going to be just for people that are members of our community on March 12th. That's next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you are here and you're a member, I look forward to seeing you there. And obviously, there's going to be open discussion, open Q&A. It's going to be beautiful. And if you're not quite a member yet and you want to be a part of that to get the rest of these rules, as well as participate in that discussion and get really honed in on your trading skill, well, then you got to book a time with someone on our team. And probably the best way to do that, just go to our website, prosperitymovement.online. I'm typing it in here. HTTPS prosperitymovement.online. At the bottom right corner, there's a little chat bubble. Just type in there Cardinal Rules or just rules, whatever. Type in there something, and our bot will give you a link to book a time. Okay. So that way you can chat with our team. The people you would probably chat with would be one of the founders or one of our traders. One of our traders that takes those calls, this week, he did like crazy good. I think they got like 40 something in NAS and over 100 on UJ or something crazy like that. Just doing very, very well with trading, and you can get their perspectives and things like that too. So that's how you can get in on all that. What else, Brian? Anything else?
no, I think that's great. That was pretty cool breaking down your cardinal rules, man. Like ultimately it is that discipline, right? Like
Yeah.
keeping it simple. I mean, I'm just having a conversation with somebody right now. The difference between simple and easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's simple, but easy is not the proper terminology. Ultimately, it takes a level of commitment, coachability, and character to show up and do it over and over again and put in the time and energy to develop the skill set. And
Matt's pointing out that you and I are wearing the same shirt.
yeah,
He said it's cute.
Oh wow. Okay, we're using the word cute now. All right. Uh, yeah. No, but I appreciate that, and sorry for the disruption. I felt
Oh, good.
I needed to reach out to Donald because I'm on a time crunch with ripping out some of the material for next week. But
Yeah,
very, very awesome. Thank you for Travis. Actually, thank you, Travis, and you for piecing that together.
no problem. Alrighty, guys. Appreciate you guys for hopping in and participating, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye for now.
Adios.